Greetings and salutations. So, Evermore has happened. I've heard it, I'm here, it's happened. I'm also wearing my Mad Woman shirt because evidently I don't have any Evermore merch yet. And most of my folklore merch is like sweaters because they're the merch I wear the most. I don't really wear like merch t-shirts, like Taylor ones, that much, but it was like the only piece of Mad Woman merch, and I'm a Mad Woman stan, so I have this, and it's hot enough in Australia that I can't wear a sweater. So what we're doing is we're wearing this shirt. Evermore is a thing that happened. I think people are going to expect me to talk about it more immediately, but the thing with me and Taylor music is it's a very, very personal thing to me, and I really need to sit with and process Taylor's music for at least a good few days before I really have any thoughts that I can articulate on it, before I even feel comfortable to kind of discuss in depth the meanings of those songs for me yet. However, as I listened through the album the first time, I did write in my good old diary just some brief thoughts on each song, and I thought, why not read them to you guys? Because I'm not in a place to properly think through and have intelligent discussions on what I heard, but I do have some brief first thoughts as I listen. So I thought, why not read them? Also, shout out to the sticker on my diary. It was a gift from like my favorite person in the world. So, let's start with Willow. Okay, I absolutely loved Willow. It's so cheerful and beautiful, and you can hear the invisible string references so clearly in the music. I wasn't focusing much on lyrics because I waited for the video and was so enchanted by the visuals, but I think that might be one of my favorites. I can't wait to focus on it some more. These are going to be very brief. That was my first thought on Willow. To be honest, I was very distracted by in the music video the one scene of it's like the Mad Woman reference scene with like kind of they're like burning the thing and everyone's dancing, and she's in like a corset and a cape, and it's all medieval looking and like fantasy, and very distracted by that, but I actually really love Willow. Champagne Problems. Okay, the bridge. Wow. That's a bridge for the history books. I think sonically this will be one that requires a few listens to truly fall in love with. For me, can already confirm after just listening to it on repeat for a couple hours last night that happened. But lyrically, this is one of my favorite Taylor songs already. It's now just one of my favorite Taylor songs in general. It relates so fucking deeply to this entire narrative. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's fucked in the head. Hits a little too close to home if I'm truly honest. I love this one a lot. I really do. That's one of my favorites of the entire album, but I think that's going to go down in history as one of my favorite Taylor songs. Gold Rush. Okay, so sonically, I think this is my favorite so far. It just sounds so pleasing. It's so beautiful and such a vibe. This one didn't immediately jump out at me lyrically, but I'm sure it will with time, but this is my fave instrumentally. 'Tis the Damn Season. So this must be one of the connected songs. I'm going to guess it ties to Dorothea based on Taylor's description of Dorothea. I think this is my favorite Christmas song, if it counts as one. The symbolism of escaping and running from a hometown despite having someone you love there really struck a chord with me. And my dumb, aspiring actress self really clings, as I always do, to the Hollywood imagery and the talks of making it. This was a good one. That's also one of my favorites of the album. Tolerate It. This is so beautiful. This one made me cry. It reminds me of a situation in my past, like, a lot. The bridge I really felt that. Taylor has such a way of describing such specific feelings in excruciating detail that captures it perfectly. I made you my temple, my mind, my sky. Now I'm begging for footnotes in the story of your life. Holy shit, dude. That lyric is like a better version of a lyric that I wrote in a song about the situation I'm referencing in this, like, years ago, which is, like, cool. It's like, oh, we had the same feeling, you just articulated it better, as of course you do. I like that me and her felt the same thing. Nobody, no crime. Well, it's no surprise my true crime loving ass loved this one. I adore how much of a narrative this song is. I was thinking yesterday about how Two Black Cadillacs is still my favorite Carrie Underwood song because it's just a murder story, and then Taylor hits me with this. I adore how catchy this one is. I love that she takes the word died out of the last chorus to build to a more climactic and spooky ending. I love Haim. I love this one. Taylor can 10 out of 10 murder me. I stand by that. Happiness. I think this is one of the songs that isn't an immediate favour, but will definitely grow on me over time. There's a few lyrics I love, but this one didn't quite grab me the way most of this album so far has. It'll be interesting to see how I feel in a week or two on this track. I think that'll definitely change. There are a lot of songs that on first listen were not my favourites on previous albums of hers, but are now like one of my absolute favourites. For example, in my top 3 songs of a folklore, This Is Me Trying is probably is in there. It's in my top 3. That was one of my least favorite songs on the first listen, just because it's very overwhelming to listen to a whole album for the first time, and it's hard to really appreciate each and every song because you're not that familiar with them yet, and you're being bombarded by so much new music. So yeah, I think that's one that'll grow on me, like This Love on 1989 or This Is Me Trying on Folklore. Dorothea. Well, that wasn't what I was expecting, but I was right about it being connected to 'Tis the Damn Season. This one wasn't my favorite, if I'm honest, but it was super cute. I loved the lyric about buying anything from her after talking about her selling products. I kind of hope I fall more in love with this one in time. Dorothea, I think I had really high expectations for, because Betty was one of my favorites of Folklore, and I was kind of expecting to love it as much. And I just kind of missed the mark a little bit for me because it was more cutesy than I kind of wanted it to be. But I hope that I do grow to love it a bit more, the way that I do with some other like cutesy Taylor songs, so hopefully. Coney Island. Yep. This is one of my favorites, hands down. This one feels really fucking personal to me, honestly. I pushed you to the edge, but you were too polite to leave me, and will you forgive my soul when you're too wise to trust me and too old to care? It literally feels like she can see inside my soul. Coney Island, I love for a lot of reasons, mostly because it's really personal to me, which is something that, again, I need time to process, and I can't talk about that just yet. I might make a video talking about all the tracks and ranking them again in a couple weeks when I can talk about them a lot more coherently, and I just have the capacity to talk about them a bit more. Coney Island, I really loved, and I love that I think she's referencing all her exes in it as well, or majority of them. You have the accident with Harry, the blue sky turning to grey, you have getting up to the podium and not saying their name or not thanking them, whatever. Like, there's all these references like directly to exes, and like I think there's a lyric about like the birthday parties, like interesting. Ivy, the fucking bridge. That was written in all caps. I love this song so much, so damn much. The imagery of grieving the living, that touched me and made me feel so understood. I love this one. I stand by that. Again, that's the ones that the meanings behind are really personal to me. I'm just not ready to talk about yet. I apologize. Cowboy Like Me. Not gonna lie, the title of this one made me laugh when I first read it, but the song is absolutely beautiful. It's so country, and the male supporting vocals just make this feel like classic old school Taylor, which makes me so happy. The bridge goes so hard, and the skeletons in both our closets plotted hard to fuck this up. Felt that. The harmonica. Long story short, you can clearly hear how personal and true this one is for Taylor. She's so secure and happy in her relationship and protective of it, and gosh, it just makes me so happy. Hearing songs like this will never get old. Fuck yeah, you survived, babe. This is just one of the most fun songs on the album too. Wow. I'm so in love with this one. And I am. Marjorie. This is it. This is my favorite song on the album. It is. I cannot believe how personal this feels to me. I can't stop crying. I'm so grateful this song exists. Taylor, thank you. That's pretty much all I wrote. And I'm really not ready to talk about how much Marjorie means to me yet. But I am very grateful for that song's existence. Closure. Holy fuck, the intro of this one. This one is really personal and relatable to me too. Don't treat me like some situation that needs to be handled. I'm fine with my spite and my tears and my beards and my candles. I can feel you smoothing me over. Wow. Cannot wait to scream this one at night. It'll give me closure. And honestly, it will. Also one of my favorites on the album. Evermore. Alright, this one hit real close to home too. I cannot stop crying. I needed this song. I haven't quite reached my own happy ending yet, but this song in this album has given me more hope than I've had in a long fucking time. I cannot stress how much I needed this song. She gets it. Those were the thoughts I wrote down. Now, what are my absolute faves on the album? Willow, Champagne Problems, 'Tis the Damn Season, Coney Island, Nobody No Crime, Tolerate It, Long Story Short, and Marjorie are probably my favorites at this point in time. I think, you know, given time, I'll probably fall more in love with them and fall more in love with others, and that'll change, and I'll just have more thoughts on every song in a while. I'm still currently in my emotional little bubble of processing and just listening and learning and falling in love as I go with these songs. So that's where I'm at now. Everyone wanted something talking about Evermore though, and I know that you wanted it like soon, so I thought I would give it now. I am not in a place to give like extensive thoughts, but this is the best I can offer you. But I hope that that's okay in and of itself. I love you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Mwah.